The following podcast contains content warnings for genre-typical violence, child death, beheading, self-harm, immolation, and drug use. Please listen responsibly.
Welcome to Table It, a micro RPG podcast. My name is Tim, and I'm one of the hosts and the editor of this production. Table It is an excuse to get my friends Max, Matt, and Manny to play micro RPGs with me. We're all interested in game design as well as actual play, so each game will get a review at the end. Stick around to hear our opinions, as well as if we put this game back on the shelf, or if we would table it and try it again. So this time we are playing Slash by Manny Elliot. Our very own Manny Elliot.
Hey, that's me.
We've got a special episode here today in that Matt is not being able to play with us today. Something came up, Matt's not here. So it's just going to be me, Manny, and Max.
Yeah. It's exciting.
It's great.
Should I explain the game, I
guess?
Yes, please.
So,
Slash is a micro RPG horror film game. The actors... or the players are called actors in this case. I will be GMing, called the director, and it is our goal to create a slasher flick, essentially. Let's start with meeting our characters. Tim, you want to start us off? Who are you?
Gladly. Hi, I'm Tim. I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be playing Tanner. He is a stoner, and he also uses he, him pronouns.
I like her framing of this person as if that is his only meaningful characteristic as a human being.
Just you wait. I hope to round him out through the course of play, but to start off with, he cares about one thing.
One thing only.
Exactly.
My name is Max. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing QWERTY, government name Quentin. Pronouns he, him.
Right. So the first thing is we have chosen our characters. Tim, you brought this up that Tanner is a stoner. That is the first part of the casting of the actors is you choose your horror movie trope. So we have Tanner the stoner and QWERTY the nerdy.
Yes. QWERTY the nerd.
And that will give... bonuses as you'll figure it out as we play. The other two important things that affect play styles are your talent and your fear. So what is your character good at and what are they afraid of? And we decided those before we recorded. If you would like to tell the folks at home what those are.
Yeah, so QWERTY is in possession of an eidetic memory. That is his talent. But he's afraid of the dark.
Yeah.
Tanner is I've written down engineer, but what I really mean is he can make a bong out of literally anything.
Yeah, so he can MacGyver some shit.
Especially if it has to do with getting weed in his lungs. Now, his biggest fear is that he will eventually just become a normal guy. He wants to be cool. He wants to be outside of the mainstream, but right now he's working at a boring job. He's worried he's going to be just like his dad.
Oh man. Mm-hmm. Terrifying. Can you feel the horror creeping in already?
Me personally, a bit.
So a quick rundown of how to play the game. You will start anytime an actor does something risky, something with a chance of failure. Everything is a roll in this game. You will roll 2d6. If the action you're doing is directly related to your trope, you will add another d6. And if your talent applies, you can re-roll one of those d6s that may have failed. And if your fear is involved in this task, you will subtract a d6. So you'll never roll more than 3 d6s, and you will never roll less than 1. Okay. Now, what are we rolling against? What is the thing we have to beat? So there is a thing called the terror score. This is how many scary, spooky things have happened in the movie so far. The terror score will begin at 2, and you must either beat or roll over, or meet or beat the terror score. So at the top of the game. It starts at 2. Things will affect the terror score. Things that go bump in the night, finding bodies, getting lost, being by yourself will increase the terror score. So as the movie continues, the terror score will get higher and it will be more difficult for your characters to succeed. So, that being said, successes and failures. If none of your dice succeed in meeting or beating the terror score, you lose 1 survivor point and things go badly for you. I will explain survivor points in just a moment. If 1 dice succeeds, you get by just by the skin of your teeth. You escape the killer, but twist your ankle. Something bad happens to you. 2 dice succeed. You did it. Well, it says you did it. The actor is safe for now. And then if 3 dice succeed, that is considered a critical success, and you can ask the director, me, 1 question related to this role, and I will answer truthfully. Mm-hmm. If 2 or more of your dice show the same as the terror score is at a 2, and you roll 2 2s on your dice, you gain 1 survivor point, and that's also considered a critical success. Now, survivor points. That's how you survive the movie. At the beginning of the game, each actor starts with 3 survivor points. You'll lose survivor points for failing rolls, and you will gain survivor points for for meeting the terror score. If at any point you lose all of your survivor points, you become the next to die. And you will have to roll a d6 and roll on the bad decisions table to determine what bad decision you make that leads to your grisly doom.
Oh, so 1 bad decision kills you?
Yes.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yes. But you can only die after you've exhausted all of your survivor points.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. If at any point you gain 6 survivor points, you become a non-gender specific final girl and must live through the end of the movie. Mm. You are, however, not safe from the post-credits scene or any sequels.
Mm.
So you can only gain survivor points by rolling 2 dice that meet the terror score.
Yes.
And if you manage to get... Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Got it.
We should also say that this is a play test. This game has only been played once before with an entirely different rule set. So we'll see how this happens. We'll see how this shakes out.
Let's go!
Yeah, so any questions before we get started from my lovely actors?
I'm ready if you are.
I think I'm ready.
All right. The lights in the movie theater go down, and we fade to black, and the screen glows, and we open up in an ancient forest somewhere in northeastern Europe. It's hard to tell. People are wearing wool and furs bundled up against the cold. In an ancient grove of sacred trees, in the middle of the night, we see torches light, and we see a woman with a headdress made of elk bones and elk antlers obscuring her face. Somewhere there are drums being beaten. In the dark, there are chants in a foreign tongue being uttered to the darkness at the beginning of the world. Mm. Out of the darkness, there comes a group of men carrying spears and holding children. Small, or not small, preteen boys, girls, about 6 in all, and they lead them into this clearing where this woman with the elk antler holds ready a sharpened blade of obsidian. And in a tongue that has been forgotten by time, recites some words, and a blood sacrifice is offered to the spirits of the forest. Somewhere after the ritual is over and the bodies of the children lie cold in the snow, and the blood has frozen to the ancient stones. Another woman, young, with silvery blonde hair, steps into the clearing. The camera zooms in as we see her from behind, a cow's tail whipping back and forth from under her shift as she begins her feast. And we slowly close out. Multiple years later, in a different country, in a different time, where the old gods have been forgotten and their names are only whispers in textbooks, we zoom in on the big, nondescript white box store Skjult. Skjult is a...
How do you spell that?
Skjult. Skjult is a big box store that sells home furnishings, modular home furnishings, high quality and at a low price point. Excuse me. They are specifically known for their modular designs that can be completed in an afternoon with nothing but an Allen wrench and a... they tend to skew towards a minimalistic. There we go. We got it. Minimalistic Scandinavian design. You all know what I'm talking about. But
legal
IP
reasons,
is
no.
a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And the store is abuzz because the new line of home furnishings by Katja Klavich is about to hit the stores. Tomorrow is the official release date for Klavich Home is the name of the line. And it is... Katja Klavich is a Norwegian influencer on the social medias and is bringing old furnishings and old design themes into the modern era with her line Klavich Home. And it is a big deal. This is her first line coming to Skjult, and it is a Skjult exclusive. You all are the underpaid minimum wage workers. It is midsummer, almost towards getting close to the dog days of summer. School's out for the summer, and you all, for whatever reasons, have summer jobs. And because you all are the teenage high school students, you have been selected to, after your full 8-hour shift today, to stay overnight to install the new Klavich Home display in the center of the store. So for the past couple weeks, they have been moving out the regular furnishings there to put up this new display. But that is in about 2 or 3 hours from now. What has your day looked like so far?
So we've both been putting in a full day and then are looking ahead to mandatory overnight overtime.
Yes.
Wait,
Yikes.
overnight overtime?
We're staying in the store overnight to put together the new
It's
displays.
You were told that you have to stay until the thing is up, but they will order pizza for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you will get a pizza order out of the deal.
Do we get to decide what's on the pizza?
Randy Sims, the assistant manager of Skjult, is a short man, balding, has a very epic mustache. He does not have to wear the Skjult blue and yellow polos like you all do. He has a crisp white shirt and a crisped tie with the image of the Norwegian flag on it. And he has a little name badge that says Randy Sims, assistant manager. And he was the one that informed you that, yes, since you were the last hired, you would be installing this new display, and it should only take a couple hours, but if you dilly-dally, it could take all night. So it's basically like you set your own schedules here.
Yeah. Okay, so Randy Sim.
Yeah, he's the assistant manager.
Wait, is it Sims or Simp?
Sims, but it should be
Sims.
Simp. He is very
He
much
is simping for corporate.
he is very much a corporate yes man.
All right.
Yeah.
So I didn't get my answer, Randy. Did we get to pick what's on the pizza?
Yes, Tanner, for the third time in the past
Extra large.
15 minutes. Okay, you know what? Why don't you
Triple
talk?
cheese.
Okay, I'm not in charge of ordering the pizza.
Mushrooms, olives.
Okay, you need to tell Flo that. Flo is the one that's going to be overseeing you. She's the one in charge tonight. You all know Flo. Florence Donaldson is...
Are you writing this down?
Florence Donaldson is, you all know the type, the one that's been here for longer than any of you have ever been hired. Older woman, she talks about her grandkids a lot, makes lemon bars for you at the Christmas parties and things like that. A real sweet old lady. And she actually volunteered to oversee this. She's sort of like what do they call it, CSM? Whatever
Like
is
a
like
customer service person?
Yeah, not the customer service person, but like the shift lead or like the floor
Like
whatever.
a floor manager.
Yeah, like a floor manager.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. And Randy says, yeah, Tanner, you're going to have to just give all that to Flo. She's got it, and make sure you guys don't go out tonight because the doors do lock behind you, and they will stay locked until Flo you can unlock them. And she's the only one with the code, so yeah, she handles all that. I just set it up and report back to corporate. All right, so I have work to do, and you do too. And he kind of looks over. Where do you work in Skjold, Tanner?
I mean, like just like around, man. Like I kind of hang out by the carpets most of the time.
Yeah. As he kind of says, you have work to do, and kind of turns, you see a woman with a bob and a big, well, it's the summer, so she wouldn't have a big coat, but a big, like, tan purse, kind of just speed walking towards you. And she has like two samples or two of the stickers that you pull off of the thing. And she goes to you and says, "Excuse me, young man. These are the carpets. Yes. Which of these two would you prefer, or would you suggest in my house?"
Now, my manager Randy's got a real eye for color. Hey, Randy, would you mind?
Randy is gone.
Tanner sort of stares in the direction Randy left at for an uncomfortably long time, and then he turns back to the woman and goes, "Oh, Randy's gone. What are the two colors?"
They are two almost indistinguishable shades of tan.
I'd go with the tan one, and then he just walks off and leaves.
Oh, sure. And she wanders around and says, "Oh, okay," and then dawdles back off to look at some of the other rugs that are various shades of the same color of tan.
I thought we were close.
This is right before close. This is a couple hours before close. And QWERTY, what was your day like right before the close?
I think QWERTY works in the section where you take your big cart and you pick up all the bulk items. And in particular, QWERTY's job is managing the computer system, so helping people find all the boxes and based on the codes and inventory and stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You actually had a really rough day because another woman with a bob haircut, and she has two twins toddling beside her, holding both of their hands, and she is trying to return a bunk bed that she alleges fell over onto her twins, and one of them has like a little bump on their head, and and is like really hamming it up, and she's kind of looking at you, and she says, do you see this? Do you see what has happened to my son? He could have serious brain damage because of the faulty construction of your products. Now, what do you plan to do about this, young man?
Well, thank you for coming by. I'm not a medical doctor, ma'am, but I do have to inform you that this is the inventory department, and I think what you're looking for is returns and exchanges.
They sent me back here. They sent me back here. I went up there, and they said, we'll be happy to return it. Just go down to the warehouse, and someone will be happy to switch it out for you. And so that's what I'm here. And I want one that's not going to fall over on my children.
Okay, ma'am. Well, one question for you. All of these models, as you know, are virtually identical. They're all exactly 14 1/4 inches long, and this particular screw is exactly 7 inches long, and all of these things are meant to ensure that the device does not fall on your children. Did you install it properly?
I don't install. I hired one of you people here to come to my house, and I don't know if he was having a bad day or if he had been smoking too much of the devil's lettuce, but something was installed improperly, and he said that he had to go back and get a part, and he never returned, so I had to have my husband put it in. We have 7-inch screws. Well, they're 6 3/4, but my husband said that they were not, that there's not much difference, so he just screwed it to the wall, and it came right out. So I think that we need this replaced as soon as possible. My children haven't had a good night's sleep, and they have school. They have they have horse camp next week, and they need their sleep for horse camp.
QWERTY just sits and stares off into the distance for a moment, thinking through the very critical difference between the 6 3/4 inch screw and the 7-inch screw, and in fact that it does matter for when you're bolting it to the wall. And he just sighs and then points in a direction exactly 67 degrees to his left and says, well, ma'am, it's bin 17A, Bay X, shelf 124. That's where you're going to go, and it'll be right there on the third shelf. So,
and how high up is that third shelf? Do I look like someone who can monkey around up these incredibly tall, quite frankly, dangerous-looking shelves to get my item, or will there be someone there that can assist me?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'll be happy to assist you. I'll come right this way.
Right. And you eventually get her thing set up, and then...
And it's identical to the one she bought.
It's identical to the same thing that she brought in every way. She asked you to open it up and make sure all of the screws are there.
And of course they are.
They are. And she tries to, like, do the exchange with you, which you can't do, of course. And so she says, well, I've already purchased it. Why can't you just, like, give it to, in, like, eventually after hours, and Randy has to come over and talk. All this. She eventually has to go back to the front. She is fuming at that point. And do you know how much money I spend here? I'm never coming back here. And the one in White Bear Lake is so much, everyone is so much more considerate, and the whole 9 yards.
Oh, Lord.
And then you hear over, you all have walkie-talkies, you hear the voice of Florence, and she says, hey gang, so we have another lost child. You know, the kids get a little, they get turned around up in the playground section, so can someone run up to floor 5 and be on the lookout for, her name is Thora. She's a little girl. She got lost in the Princess Playhouse area.
I'll be more than happy to come up and take a look. QWERTY on the route.
Yeah. So the layout of Skjold is such that it doubles back on itself, and there is one official path, and it is supposedly one way. So, but it is intentionally designed so it takes you through the entire store, and it takes about 2 hours to get through the entire store if you're just walking the path, and it is specifically designed to catch your eye, so you divert from the path and look at their wares. What is particularly interesting about Skillt as opposed to some of the other big box stores is there's a lot of functionality in the store. Like there are displays of like what a home office would look like, what a bathroom would look like, what the kitchen looks like. Some of the kitchens work. Some of the refrigerators are plugged in. They have like cooking demonstrations there sometimes. Some of the home offices have like running electricity, and like some of the gaming, like the kids have like gaming sets where like kids can go and play video games while their parents are looking at wardrobes or whatever. So
And by kids, you mean employees occasionally get a little Minecraft.
exactly. It's all like demo games, so you can only play like the first half of a level of anything, and everything is locked, and you can't purchase anything, and you know. But
you get really
the
good
idea.
at half of that level. Man.
Exactly. And one of such place is like the children's place, and it has like bunk beds that are made out of like castles and spaceships and things like that. It is basically like a McDonald's playpen or play area, which is a big selling point for this place. A lot of folks will come and drop their kids off and like just let them play on the bunk beds and things like that, and then pick them up later if they can find them. But it's hard to find your way around Skillt. So this is not an uncommon occurrence. So you make your way up to the 5th floor.
Right.
Looking around the bunk beds and everything. Yes.
Tanner's, of course, doing his job, which is to stand on the 4th floor by the carpets and pay attention to the stairway so that no one comes down from the 5th floor without being seen by Tanner.
Yes.
Nice.
And doing a phenomenal job of it. The same woman that you had talked to earlier, turns out it was who was looking for the 2 different colors of tan. You hear her running around on the 4th floor just saying, Thora, where are you? And runs up and says, young man, we met earlier. You helped me decide what color to paint my kitchen.
Oh, yeah, happy
Yes.
to help. That's what my job's for.
Have you seen my daughter? Her name is Thora.
Oh, I heard about her on my walkie-talkie. They said she's on the 5th floor, but I'm staying here so she doesn't get any further down.
And she just kind of says, oh, thank you, young man. You know, you're doing the Lord's work. Has anyone come down these stairs?
No.
I retract my former statement. Can I go up and look for my daughter?
Yeah?
Millennials. And she just like runs up the stairs.
Right as I open a secret staff door and come out the staff entrance.
Yeah, you
and I
come out
arrive.
the staff entrance. If you would like, you can make the first roll of the game. And
Okay.
as you're looking for little lost Thora.
Yes, I am going to look around. This
Yes.
is not my assigned floor, so I would say I don't know it well. But
For sure.
I have been here before. I don't know if my talent applies here, because even if I have the layout memorized, that doesn't necessarily make it easier for me to find somebody in it.
I think it would, because you have a photographic memory, and you know, like, I think that anyone who has worked, like, the children's rooms section has been like, kids like to hide here and here and here.
True. Okay.
So
okay.
I think you would, like, I will give you the reroll.
All right. So, but it doesn't necessarily relate to my trope, so I'm only rolling 2. All right, I rolled a 2 and a 2.
Oh,
Whoa,
hey, that's
actually-
a
the
survivor point.
reroll.
I was about to say we were never going to get one of those, and we got one of the
Here
first
we go.
rows.
Yeah.
First roll, baby.
So your survivor points increase to 3.
What, 4?
Oh, 4. I thought we
Oh,
started.
4. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was looking at my terror score.
4 survivor points for Cordy.
Yes. Almost
God
there.
dang.
Yeah, you're going around and you look, and there's a big sort of Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter's Tea Party sort of. There's a big toadstool, and there you go and like kind of poke your head, and there's a little girl with like little pigtails, bright blue eyes, just kind of like sucking her thumb and holding herself inside the toadstool. And you pop your head in, and she kind of starts as she sees you and like curls up against the back of it.
Hey there, kiddo. Would your name be Thora by any chance?
She looks up and says, "My mommy said never to tell people my name was Thora."
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. But listen, I think your mommy is here right now and is looking for you. And I kind of pull back the cover of the toadstool, and hopefully she can see out and see Mom going apeshit bananas.
She can hear her. Mom is like, Thora, and she's like, I hear her, but Mommy said, are you a prevert, mister? My mom said I shouldn't, that preverts try to get people to follow them by saying, I know your mommy.
That's a really good point. That is a really good point, Thora. I am not a as you say, a prevert. A pervert, by the way, is the correct pronunciation. But no, I am not one of those either way.
Oh, okay. Do you know the other lady that was here?
Other lady? Are you thinking about... was she an older lady or assistant manager?
No, she looked like she was about the age of my older sister. She had really red lips.
And I immediately scan through and think of every employee at the store. Is there anybody who would look like that?
There is one employee. Her name is Devin Sweeney. She is kind of like the popular girl. She's also thinks she's an influencer, loves makeup and stuff like that, and not the most dedicated worker here. But you know that she's mainly just a cashier.
Interesting. So she wouldn't really have any reason to be up here.
Not necessarily.
No, Thora, I don't really think so. I don't think there's anybody here matching that description. Maybe my colleague Devin, but I'm pretty sure that she only works the cash registers and only on Thursdays and only between 11 and 7 p.m. And right now she's taking a science class that I don't think that's her.
You know a lot, mister. I'm surprised you haven't seen the other lady. She says she lives here.
Lives here?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Thora, but nobody lives here. This is a store.
Are you saying that someone lied to a little girl?
I think that's very possible. People do that.
And then she kind of narrows her eyes at you and said, "Did you lie about being a prevert?"
No, definitely not. I would not lie about that. That's very important.
That's exactly what a liar would say. Mom!
Oh, no.
And she pulls, eventually, Mom comes over and she takes Thora, and she looks at you and says, "Thank you so much for finding her. She loves to hide. She's in this new phase where she just hides and spends so many times with her little imaginary friends. Isn't that true, Thora?" And she says, "Mom, they're not imaginary friends. They're fairies. I play with the fairies." And she says, "Of course you do, sweetie." And then over the intercom, you hear Randy's voice says, "Attention, Skilt shoppers. Skilt will be closing in 15 minutes. Please make your final purchases at the front of the store." And she says, "Oh, we've got to get home. Thank you so much, young man."
Sure thing.
Yeah. The rest of the day goes by with very little fanfare other than the normal customer service. You all meet in the break room with Florence, this older woman who has like a big puffy wisp of gray, halo of gray hair around her head, and like chain, her glasses around chain. Her glasses on a chain around her neck. She's also wearing the blue polo. And her badge has, she's wearing a lanyard with her ID and stuff on it. And it's covered in like pins from like her grandkids and like kitten pins and stuff. Just a real sweet old lady. And she's there with Randy. And there's a team meeting where Randy kind of like lays everything out. It's like, all right, so here's the thing, gang. We got to get this up. Corporate says it should only take 2.5 to 3 hours. So it should get you guys out of here by midnight, but things have to be done to done to specifics. There are very specific ways that this has to be done and laid out, and it has to match the mock-up exactly. And then the morning team will come in and set up the lights so it looks good, but everything has to be in the exact right places. And I'm going to need photographs before I can let you go, and I'll be locking the door on the way out. Florence has the key, so you guys won't be able to get in or out. I did give Florence
in or out.
I mean,
I think that's illegal, man.
I mean, we just want it to be safe, and because of the exclusivity of this particular line, we can't really have
well, like, do you think we're just gonna like walk out with it, man? Like, this stuff isn't
I mean,
like,
we had to turn the security cameras off. That was part of corporate's thing. So
what? That feels bad, man.
It's weird, right?
Why aren't you staying, Randy?
Why am I I'm not staying. I'm locking the doors on my way out. I'm going to be at home waiting for those pictures to see if they match up the corporate mock-up.
I'm sorry, Randy. QWERTY here.
Yes, Quentin, I know.
It's QWERTY. Thank you. So I'm sorry. You're locking us in the building, and no security cameras and no way out until we send you a photo that we have completed this build successfully to your mock-up specifications. Is this a hostage situation?
I mean, we here at the Skjolt family don't like to throw around words like hostage. Legal has said that is not a word we are not able to use anymore. But no, it's some sort of exclusivity deal with Katya, and because she's Norwegian, the laws are weird. So if it makes you feel any better, it's only the security cameras in this section.
It doesn't, but that's cool, I guess.
Look at it this way, Tanner. We get free pizza.
Oh, yeah, about that free pizza.
Yes. Make sure Florence gets those, and Florence, make sure... pizza can be delivered to the west door. Excuse me. Just make sure that Florence has that code, and it can only be used once. So once the pizza here, it like expires. It expires. You let the pizza guy in, and then the door shuts, and then like that code.
Then it's over.
Yeah, because you don't have another need to be in the store.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird
that
situation.
Makes sense to me. That tracks, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I just work here, guys. But thank you all for doing this. You all, your team playerness will not have gone unnoticed. And then he just pieces out, and Florence says, oh, geez. All right, gang, let's get to it. Let's get going.
All right, let's get Randy fired.
Well, you know something, Tanner? I have been, before I worked here, I used to work up at the Kmart, and I was in the line to be store manager, but I took a position here because it was higher pay, and they said they had upward momentum. And let me tell you what, there's not been any upward momentum. But judging by Randy, it's been flat on his back, and I don't know how he got in there. I don't know whose dick he had to suck to get up there. But let me tell you, I'll hit my knees for sure.
Every workplace needs a flow. Every workplace.
I love her.
I love her.
And she's like, all right, let's go get these boxes undone, shall we?
Oh, pizza.
So Flo is staying overnight with us.
Flo is staying overnight with you.
Oh my god, okay. We are going to protect this old woman with our lives, correct?
Pizza first, though. We got to get that pizza order in, or else it's not going to show up on time, because we're going to get this thing done in an hour and a half flat.
I like the way you think, Tanner.
I'm skipping every corner.
But
we only need half the nails.
Come with
Excuse me, you really need all the nails.
But come with me before you make any big statements there. And she takes you up to the area in Skjolt where this thing, there are drapes hung all around, like the plastic sheeting, because it's so exclusive.
Yeah.
No one knows what it's supposed to look like. And you go in, and there are tons of boxes. It looks like the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, just like stacked. And she goes, oh, jeepers. They said it was only supposed to take a couple hours, and they only give me, what, two people? All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'll go get working on that pizza. Why don't you guys start opening these boxes, and then we'll see what we can do, okay?
Okay.
Tanner immediately starts rattling off the world's most complicated pizza order.
And she's getting it. She's got it down, but gets it, and she says, "All right," and then she repeats it back to you flawlessly.
Heck
Cordy
yeah.
is impressed.
She kind of winks at you, Cordy.
Tanner whispers to Cordy, "The goal is to make it cost as much as possible."
Oh, I understand.
She goes, "How do you guys feel about garlic knots?"
The more the better.
That's what I thought. So 5 orders?
Yes, please.
All right. Yeah, just like a stack of pizzas are coming. Like,
Amazing.
she's ordered enough pizza for like a team, and it's just the 2 of you.
Honestly, sidebar, I could fucking crash the pizza right now. All right, so
we're cementing a consistency of anytime we play a horror game, I'm hungry for pizza.
Oh, absolutely. So Cordy turns his attention to the boxes and immediately pulls out from his apron and rolls it out with a snap. Like if you've ever seen like a chef's knife kit, it's like that, but it's row upon row upon row of meticulously sharpened box cutters, varying lengths.
I like party.
With like the special grip and like the fancy gloves, and he immediately is like, "Okay, Tanner, take your pick. Which one would you like?"
Tanner reaches into his pocket and pulls out a razor blade taped to another razor blade that is like wrapped in paper.
That is an OSHA violation and extremely unsafe.
It's fine.
Okay.
I've got it on like a rubber band, so like I don't lose it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take this one, and if you would like a safe OSHA compliant box cutter here, you're more than welcome.
Do you have any like better Allen wrenches? Because the ones that they come in the box are terrible.
Absolutely. And I pull out a second kit and I snap it out, and it's got them all, and it's got Allen wrenches and hex wrenches and things, but it also has actual screwdrivers and heads and stuff.
Yeah. So you guys start opening these boxes up. And in one of the first boxes, there is like the mock-up of what it's supposed to look like. This line is made from like it's called Norwegian red ash. So it's like a very deep, almost like cherry color, like very like rich wood that all these things are being made with, which is significantly more fancy than Skjolt's normal thing. And you're kind of looking at this and like you see like the suggested prices, and it's like a little pricier than your normal stuff, but not crazy expensive. But the quality is much better.
Interesting.
And it is specified, so there's like a wardrobe and like a roll top desk and like a bed that is like on stilts, so it's sort of like a bunk bed or like loft, but just a little higher off the ground, ornately carved nightstands and things, beautiful furniture, and it doesn't look modular, which is the thing, but as you're taking it apart, but it is, and they still like fit together. So that's part of the reason everything is so exclusive, and like everyone's like, how did Katya do this? We don't know.
I have an idea. I think she used magic.
Tanner, magic isn't real.
Now speak for yourself, man. You should try some of this.
Okay.
Are you gonna light up?
Hell yeah! Flow us in the other room. What you gonna do?
You have a bong with you?
What is your setup right now?
So like I think he's got a proper like setup in his locker for sure. But I think like on him he's got like a little bit everywhere. So I think he reaches into his polo, and from inside the sleeve where he has like rolled a little bit, he pulls out like a little tiny joint. It's like the littlest joint. This is my work joint. Here you go.
Oh, thank you, Tanner.
And then a lighter.
I really appreciate that very much. Yes, it's kind of like my inhaler.
Kind of like your inhaler.
And he goes for it.
Following it up with your inhaler is probably not a bad idea.
Okay, and then QWERTY reaches in his pocket.
Amazing. So as you were opening the, you got the boxes open and using your box cutter to cut things. I forgot the name, Tanner. Your incredibly unsafe OSHA violation nicks your thumb, and not terrible, just like a little,
Whoops.
But you are bleeding. And you know that there's a first aid kit in like the break room if you would like to go.
Oh, this dang furniture cut me. I'm gonna go get a bandage.
Okay, be safe.
Oh, sure.
Amazing. So as you head back to the break room, that's the moment where the motion lights shut off, because all the lights are on timers, and it's been 45 minutes or so since the store closed. So all the main lights just, and you're not plunged into darkness. The like safety lights come on, so it's dim, and QWERTY, you were there as well, continuing to work on the boxes. I think at this point the terror score increases by 1 since
because of the lights.
because of the lights, and it was a bit of a shock. So terror score is up to 3.
I hate working overnight.
And when that happens, you hear what sounds like a door being shut on the floor above you, which you know is like the excuse me, is the kitchen area.
Tanner holds his hand in front of his face, goes, okay, there's me. Randy's left already, so there's QWERTY, and then there's Flo. And he looks at his 3 fingers, and it's like touches them all with his left hand, and goes, who's upstairs? So he just like wipes his thumb on his shirt, and he's gonna go investigate.
Amazing. You bypass the room, still bleeding a little bit from your thumb. QWERTY, as he heads out, you're getting a start on putting this together. You saw him get cut, and it was bleeding, but it's not gushing blood or anything.
Yeah, enough for a little Band-Aid.
Yeah. You can't find blood anywhere. Like, it's not on the box that he touched. It didn't get onto the furniture or anything like that. If you hadn't seen him cut his thumb, you would not have known that it was there.
Well, that's weird. Weird.
Yeah. But you start putting the box together. So I'm going to ask both of you to make rolls. QWERTY, there's something about the furniture that you can notice. And you're trying to find the person. I think you're putting the furniture together, there's something weird about all of this, and I think you're trying to figure out what
the way it fits together. Why is it so nice?
Yeah,
to then also be flat pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So both of you give me rolls.
Okay.
You're trying to beat a 3. Meet or beat a 3.
Can I make an argument that this applies to my trope as being a nerd?
I would think so, yeah.
Like, I know this stuff really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, that means I get to roll an extra one. All right, I got a 1, a 4, and a 3.
Okay, so that's 2 successes.
2 successes. I did it for now.
Yeah, you did it. It's too early to tell, but like you're taking things out, leaning things up. What you notice is that everything is so meticulous, and like there are actual instructions in like written out instructions of how to put this furniture together. Normally with Skilled, it's just done by pictures,
Right.
and so this actually there's more method than the average thing, but you're not quite sure what it means yet. Tanner, what did you get?
A 3 and a 4.
3 and a 4. That's also a success. As you head up to the kitchen area, you heard that door shut, and you step out onto the floor, and your foot kind of squelches on something, and you kind of look it up. You know that this is cleaned every day, and like it's part of the whole design that it's like almost surgically sterile. Mm-hmm. But you kind of look, and there is what appears to be a spot of some viscous red liquid on the ground that looks vaguely like blood.
Huh. I wonder if someone, like, spilled their Capri Sun.
And at that moment, both of you hear a scream in the kitchen section, like a blood-curdling... It sounds like a woman's scream.
Tanner?
Tanner cannot...
Is that you, buddy?
Yeah, he can't hear you.
Yeah, it's a shot in the dark.
Oh, shit. That sounds really bad.
I grabbed my walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Tanner, QWERTY here. Was that you up there?
Hey, QWERTY, this is Tanner. Over.
Tanner, QWERTY here. Are you in the kitchen? Are you okay?
Hey, QWERTY, this is Tanner. I'm in the kitchen. I heard a scream. It wasn't me. Over.
You should come right back down, and we should check it out together, I think. You better be safe.
Hey, QWERTY, this is Tanner. You should come up to the kitchen. Over. I think we'd be safer together. Over. Sorry, QWERTY, I forgot to say this is Tanner. Over.
All right, I'll be on my way. Don't go anywhere, please. QWERTY out.
Amazing. And with that, the terror is going to increase by one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How are you getting up to the floor
Okay, so that's
above?
a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a direct route that is in the lighted area?
So the whole store is lighted, but it's like emergency lights.
Emergency lighting.
So
only.
like
Okay.
enough for you to like follow the like path.
Got it. Okay.
And like there's also the back way where like, you know, because you mentioned the employee door.
Right.
So there's like the back way that
upstairs.
Okay.
So there's the back way where the employees can kind of like zip around
Right.
without having to go through everything. And that is presumably lighted.
In this case,
so-
I think I would try and take the most direct route.
Okay.
So straight up following probably whatever route Tanner took because he was going to go to the break room. So,
Yeah. So that would all be like the behind the scenes.
Yes, we were taking the back rooms.
Yes, so you're taking the back room, and you so the doors are actually disguised.
Right.
So it's like you have to go in through like a home office setup and like push on the back of the wardrobe and like enter Narnia.
Cool.
So like you go back, but it's like cinder block walls, and it's like that very echoey back of a big box store. And as you're walking through, you are heading up, and then you get to the stairwell, and you hear what sounds like footsteps up above.
Tanner, are you coming down the stairs?
Hey, this is Tanner. I'm not on the stairs. Over.
Flo, did you end up back in the kitchen sections?
You hear the sound of a walkie-talkie. Pizza. It sounds like you're getting bad reception, which is kind of normal
Par for the course of, yeah.
especially if you're in like sort of the back rooms.
I am going to take one of my box cutters, my biggest, longest, fiercest box cutter, and I'm going to extend it all the way out. Hold on to it. Hold it out in front of me with both hands, and I'm going to go up the stairs.
You creep up the stairs, and you hear a door slamming as you get to the top, to the kitchen area, and you push it open and notice that there is tape keeping the door from latching, because these doors are supposed to lock if you don't have like the proper, like you all have keys, like
Key
they're all
cards.
Allen wrenches and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, which is a common thing that employees do if they know they're going to be running back. They'll like put tape over
Tape
the
the
latch.
door so you don't have to constantly swipe your badge to get back in.
Yeah. But you open that up onto the kitchen, and it opens up into a pantry. The pantry side of the kitchen. So you're like in the pantry, and you're looking out through the slatted the slats of the window.
Right.
And there's a figure moving around in this like sort of darkened kitchen with a butcher knife.
Do we have any plugs?
We do have a couple of plugs. I'm going to call an audible here and talk about this. So
Yes.
one thing is, of course, join our Discord.
Yes.
Available in our show notes and on social media. It's growing. We're having good discussions in there, having some meaty conversations about what constitutes TTRPGs and micro RPGs and one-pagers.
I have a plug that I'm sure. Do we know when this is going to air?
The 6th, November 6th.
November 6th. Okay. It might be up by then. So I'm going to plug another podcast that I'm on.
Yeah.
I am the GM for live play podcast of that other tabletop game that
Serpents on the Beach?
Serpents on the Beach. Yes.
Sorcerers on the Beach, rather.
Sorcerers on the Beach.
Talking about the big D?
Yeah. You know I'm all about that big D. But it is called Lesser Evil. It is we're calling it a D&D-ish podcast where the good guys can't win, we hope. It's an evil campaign set in sort of modern-ish setting where Sauron won the War of the Ring and is now supreme overlord of the world, and it's set in a vaguely 90s aesthetic.
Nice.
Yeah,
That whips ass.
Yeah.
Is this on Spotify and everything?
Hopefully, it is coming this winter to
Okay.
a podcatcher near you.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm
we
gonna
just finished
love
up the first season, and we're putting the spit and shine on it as we speak. So
Hell
Love
yeah.
that.
So
I love
hopefully
that.
it'll be up by the time this airs. But if
Awesome.
not, follow us on Lesser Evil Pod. Evil Pod on all the socials.
Nice.
Awesome. Lesser
Yeah.
Evil Pod.
Yeah, we're evil_pod on all the socials. The
Got
show's
it.
name is Lesser Evil.
Got it.
They're all everyone works for an evil corporation, but they are entrance level, so they are the lesser evils.
I love that. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
That's silly. That's good. All right. All good on plugs then?
yeah.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to Table It. You can find us at micro_RPGs on Twitter, or email us at microrpgs@gmail.com. Please submit games you would like to hear us play with a subject line new game. Our theme this episode is Chill Vibra Jazz by Danny Dory. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.